What up, YouTubers? Back in action. Time for another unboxing. Glad to be back. Glad to be back. So, we just did the ultimate unboxing. I hope you checked it out. Everything for December. Like I said in the previous video with My Geek Box, I'm way behind in all my unboxings for January. I was waiting for that one. Didn't want to start January until I got all of December. Now that that's finally out of the way, I'm going to cram in as much as we can before February gets here so we can do another ultimate unboxing. So I have tons of boxes. I got like 6 or 7 of them already, and people are asking my opinions on certain ones, so trying to get them out there as fast as I can. My editing program's super slow. The video sizes are so big it takes a long time to put them out. But anyway, enough of that. Let's just get right into it. Right now, unboxing of Collectible Geek. If you can see the stamp. Collectible Geek. So this was their January Disney Cash. So they're starting to do a monthly subscription. They had one each month. Like last month it was Deadpool, this month it was Disney, and next month will be Fantasy. So now they're starting to do a monthly one, and their shipping's much cheaper. Thank God for that. But this wasn't part of the monthly one. This was the full price one. We'll get into the price point in a minute. But let's just jump right into this. First thing I'd like to say is that no surprise here. Everything I've thought about them before, pretty much the same thing in this one. But anyway, so first item, a Funko Pop of Baymax. And this is a big one. There aren't too many like large Funko Pop figures out there, and this is one of them. Baymax. It's cool. I really like this one. I like the movie. I like the character. I thought he was cool. I was actually considering buying this myself, so it's really cool to see that. I like that figure. Next, we have Oswald. And yeah, Disney character. Also, just by coincidence, I was thinking of buying this one too, because I think Oswald's a cool character. And it comes with a little plastic protector around it. Definitely not necessary, but if someone were to keep it in the box and they wanted to keep it pristine, or the only reason I can see people using these is that they had a lot of Funko Pop figures and they wanted to store them so that way it wouldn't get crushed. But if you're displaying it, even if it's in the box, you don't really need that. But it was nice of them to put that in there anyway. I don't think I'll use it, but I'm gonna take him out and put him on the shelf because he's not worth any money. He's not never gonna increase in value. So. Oswald, pop figure. Next we have Elsa, a tiny Funko Pop one. So the same thing with the bigger ones. There aren't a lot of the tiny ones yet. They're just starting to put those out, which I wish they really would. I really like the small ones because I always like the pop figures, the design of them, but they're an inconvenient size for me because it's not big like a sculpture. It doesn't get its own shelf, but it's not small enough to fit on my small shelves. So it's always been an awkward shape for me. So I really like the small ones. I really wish they'd do a lot more of the small ones. I could have so many more of them. I could display so many more of them. And let's face it, the paint job on the regular size ones is crap, so it's not like it's going to get any worse on the paint job. So I hope they do a lot more small ones. I think it was kind of weird they put Elsa in there. I would have thought they'd put Olaf. I thought he was a much cooler character. Elsa, it was a good movie, but I didn't really care for Elsa as a character. So whatever. But I actually have Olaf anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But anyway, I'm rambling. Little tiny Funko Pop. Next, we have a keychain. So, Disney Florida. There's a little Mickey in there, he spins around. And it's metal. Disney Florida, Disney World. So, Mickey keychain. And next we have a print. This Disney Marvel thing. So now that Disney and Marvel are one and the same, they can do stuff like this. And that's fine. So, before I said anything about the box, before I give my opinion, I just want to show you what's in there. Now I'll go through the items and give my honest opinion of each one, and also do an overall valuation of the box. So, again, let me preface this with that I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to hate on anyone. I'm giving an honest review. I think that's what I owe you as viewers. I want to be as honest as I can. I think you deserve an honest review. I'm not trying to bullshit people. I'm not trying to get free stuff out of this company by kissing their ass. So, the same story with Collectible Geek as always. Zero creativity. Absolutely no creativity. They're giving you stuff, but there just seems to never be any thought put into it whatsoever. So, you got a Disney cash here, but at the same time, it seems like I got the Funko cash. They have a Funko cash where you pick, you say how many Funko Pop figures you want, and then you get that many. It seems like I got that. It seems like I bought the Funko cash box instead of the Disney box. Like, Disney is such a huge company. It's huge. It's one of the biggest, most recognizable companies in the world. Not to mention that they now own Marvel and Star Wars. Huge things right now. Out of all the products they have, out of all the everything, all those companies, all the things you could have put in here, you put all Funko Pop figures, you put 3 Funko Pop and a keychain. Like, that's all you came up with? That was the thought put into it? And I'm not saying I didn't like the Funko Pop figures. I thought they were cool. I liked them. It was a coincidence that I liked Oswald. Baymax is obviously current, so that's fine, and so was Frozen. But I just feel like they could have done so much more. That's what I like to see in boxes. Creativity. Something that I'm not going to get everywhere else. Something where it's not just everyday stuff. Like, I'm going to show a picture right now of other things by Disney. They have something called Vinylmation, which is almost exactly like Funko Pop, but for Disney. And they're really cool. They look really cool, as I'm showing a picture right now. They could have put some of those in there, because you can usually only get those from, like, Disneyland or Disney World. They're exclusive to that park. No one else can get them. They could have put that in there, because that would have been special for everyone. Something that we in California or people in Florida can only get to put in there. Also, I'm showing a picture of these other things right now. These little tiny, like, stuffed figures, they look like little loaves of bread, but they're really cool. They're of all kinds of different characters, and they're really creative and fun, and they're cheap. They're cheap as hell. You can get a couple of them. I think it might have been like 4 for $10 or something like that. Like, they were only a few bucks a piece. Not expensive at all, and that's retail. Wholesale, they could have got them super cheap. Like, you couldn't have put something like that in there. And again, not to mention Star Wars, Marvel, all that stuff. Like, it just blows my mind the amount of products that Disney has out there, and then they just were like, oh, put 3 Pop figures in there. It just shows, like, no thought and creativity whatsoever. And it was the same for the Deadpool one. They put very, very generic stuff, a lot of stuff that looked like it was homemade, looks like it's homemade in the box, and there's a very little lack of effort in there. So that's kind of my overall opinion of it, and now we'll get into some more specifics like the value of it. So let's get into the actual value. So thirsty. Bad boxes dry out my mouth. It does. And Blue Moon is the only cure. Anyway, so let's get into some value. Let's start with the biggest item and go down from there. Baymax. Again, I like this figure, so it was a cool figure. I like it. And I also like that I got the one without the superhero suit. I kind of like the plain look better, so I'm happy I got that, because I know there was an option of getting either one. Cool. This runs for about, it varies. You can get these for about $16. Excuse me. My local comic shop has them for right around $16. They go as high as $20. If you go to second, like aftermarket places, a lot of them will charge $20 for it. It's not really necessary. So around $16 to $20 for this figure. Next, going down from size, Oswald, any Funko Pop figure, 10 at the most. I know other places charge more for that. Do not pay that. I get them as cheap as 8 down the street at my comic shop, but to be fair, we'll say 10. The small ones, either 5 or 6. It's a very small range. It's either $5 or $6 depending where you go, but you can get them for 5 most places. This keychain, this is what I mean where it's very generic. It's from Disneyland, it's from Florida, but this looks very outdated. Like, I've seen keychains like this. My mom used to have one because it seems like it's from the mid-90s. I wouldn't be surprised if this company contacted Disney and was like, hey, we just want any keychain. What do you have that you just have a surplus of? And just give us those. We'll buy them. It's like, here you go. Like, it's just very, very generic. It could have been from anywhere. It could have cost anything. So, the interesting thing about it is if you were to buy it from Disneyland, they charge crazy prices. They probably charge like $12 or something like this. But considering it's so generic, I'd put it at like $5, maybe $6. And even it would probably be even less because you can go on eBay and find things exactly like this for next to nothing. But we'll say $5 to $6. The last item, this picture. I don't know how well you can see this. I'll try to, I know the camera doesn't focus very well, but hopefully you can see that pretty decently. This picture is, I don't want to be rude, but it's pretty shameful. Like, I've explained before, I'm an artist myself. I do paintings, I sell them, I've made prints myself. I know how incredibly easy it is to make a print. And this is just poor quality. If you look at the characters, just like Mickey in there, it's not even like shaped appropriately. He looks like he's disproportionate. Like, it seems like someone at Collectible Geek just knew how to use Photoshop and they were like, hey, just make something for us, anything. We don't care what it looks like. And it looks like they did. It's like, there's not a lot of color variation, there's not a lot of line variation. It's just very simple, and it doesn't even look like it was made by Disney. It's very poor quality of the image. And the only reason I mention that is because you could literally go on Google Disney and Marvel, and find people that make things way better than this. The images are free, and go print it out for yourself. So the fact that it's not like a high quality image, it's not by any famous artist, it's not by anyone well known, it's just there, that it's very disappointing. And on top of that, it's not even a good print. When I were to print high quality things, I'd use weighted paper, or like watercolor paper that has texture to it, or cardstock that's like an actual piece of cardboard where it's like hard and it's good quality, you can feel it, there's texture to it. It's none of those things, it's just paper. It's not even cardstock, it's not even like cheap cardstock that you would get at Kinko's or anything. It's a very bland piece of paper, like that's like semi-glossy. It's not even photo paper, like very, very low in quality. And I would put this practically at a zero value. The only value it has is the cost of this piece of paper and the ink that goes on it. So the cost to get this printed at Kinko's, which would be like $1 or $2, like very around that. It wouldn't be expensive at all. There's nothing, I mean technically it's exclusive because it looks like they created it themselves, but I could go on Photoshop myself and make something of equal or greater value and go print it out. Like, I think it would have been better not to even have put it in because it just shows the lack of quality. I think it would have been better just to not have it because it shows that they just don't have good sources of images. So, pretty bummed out by that. I'm not going to use it. I'm not even going to keep it. I'm not even going to try and sell it. It's pretty much trash to me because it's just a piece of paper. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but at the most I put this at like $1 value. So, with that being said, with the 3 Funko Pops and the keychain, let's see, like 15, 25, 30. So on the low end, like $35. On the high end, maybe 40, maybe a little higher. On the high retail end, which I would not pay for them. And considering this box cost $40, yeah, 40. $25 for the box and $15 for shipping. That's what I said about the Deadpool one. You're paying about more than 50% of what the box costs just to get it shipped. And it wasn't particularly heavy. They were charging crazy amounts for shipping. Like, so again, this is the most expensive box out there, and it's also the lowest in quality. There was no creativity, there was no exclusive items, there was nothing special about it. And on the low end, they didn't even give me what I paid for, which I've said before, that's crazy. That's crazy to buy a mystery box and not even get your money back. Like if I were to like make a return for it, like I wouldn't even get my money back. Even on the high end, it barely meets $40, which is what I paid for, which is so dumb. Why would I pay you $40 for a mystery box just to get $40 back? If I wanted to spend $40, I would spend $40. That's why I don't like their Funko, like, cash box, because they just ask how many Funko you want and then they just give it to you. If I wanted to buy some, I'll just go to the store and buy some. If it's an equal value, I'll just go purchase it myself. I can purchase these anywhere. They're not rare at all. So if I wanted to spend $40 on Funko Pop figures, I will. I don't need them to do it for me. And it's wasted money in shipping. So what's the point? I've said this a million times that for a box to be worth it, I feel like you should get double your value. Most of them do that. The good ones do more than that, which is awesome. But I think that's the standard, and it definitely didn't meet that by any means. Nowhere near $80. Maybe getting what you paid for. They luckily got figures that I happen to have liked, but that wasn't because of skillful thought or anything. That was just like straight out coincidence. And I didn't like the Elsa, and the keychain was very cheap, and the print was garbage. I'm sorry, it was. So, again, I haven't even gotten into the other boxes of this month, but this one's going to be dead last. I already know it. Before I even see the other boxes, it's dead last. Like, there's no way it's going to get worse than that. Not that this was bad. I'm still going to put up the Funko figures. I still liked them. Was not worth the money. Now they're doing a monthly subscription. The shipping is cheaper, so the box only costs about $32 plus shipping. So even at that, even if I had gotten the discount on shipping and I only paid $32, it still wouldn't be worth it, because again, they barely met that. Even at the high value of $40, not worth it. Wasn't anywhere near double, even at the lower cost. So I'm definitely skipping next month. The next month is a fantasy theme, and I already said like I don't really care that much for the fantasy theme, so I'm probably going to watch someone else's unboxing, but I guarantee I'm not going to be surprised. If this was kind of their last chance, like if they have a really cool theme for March, maybe, but I don't know. It's pretty rough from there. So again, the first time I did my Deadpool unboxing for Collectible Geek, someone from the company actually contacted me, and they said they wanted to have a word with me because I don't think they liked what I had to say. I tried to contact him back, no response. But hey, if anyone from Collectible Geek is watching, not trying to be mean, but call me, hit me up, send me a message. I'll help. Like I said, the pictures I showed of Disney things, I have great ideas, or even average ideas. I'm more than willing to help. I don't want to see you guys put out bad boxes. I want to see you guys succeed. I want to see you make customers happy. Let me help you. I could do this better myself, and I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean that in, come hit me up. I'll totally help you guys out for no charge. So, overall of this box, like I said, very disappointing. Barely worth the money. And I couldn't honestly say it's a waste of money because you didn't lose any money, but it was rough. So, again, I'm rambling a lot. I went on a whole long speech. Boxes like this make me angry, and I feel like I need to talk a lot. But anyway, lots more boxes to come up and a monthly review to come up, so stay tuned. I'm going to put these videos out as fast as I can, as fast as my computer will process them. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Love you all. Peace.